Good morning and welcome to Preparing to Survive and Thrive Homesteading channel with Charlie B. So we're out here, we're going to do some homestead updates. What's happening with the bees, the extending of my garden. It's about 40 degrees out. We've got sunshine today after 3 days of dreariness. We got a lot of projects in the works, including cleaning out barns and sheds and all that stuff. But today we're just going to focus on a few of them. So first thing, I'm going to turn you around so you can take a look at the bees. The bees are not coming out today. No way, no how. But as you can see, some of these have bigger boxes and smaller boxes. The smaller boxes is the honey, or would be the honey that I would normally take and use this time of year. However, this year I'm going to let them go until we get another warm spell. I wanted to wait till they were able to pack everything in, and we might go ahead and just leave them keep their honey this year, and or disperse it to another hive. This was one of the swarms I caught. I have not looked inside in a while, but it needs another box up on top, whether it's for insulation or I take some of the honey from some of the other ones and give to them. I really want these bees to survive this winter, so it's either going to feed them or I leave the honey. I can't do both. If I take the honey, I will have to feed them. If I leave the honey, I will not feed them, because in the springtime, if there's any honey left, I would go ahead and pull that and use it for me. So we're kind of deciding right now. So our next update is going to be the garden. So hang with me. We're heading right down there. I'm down here at the garden. It's really windy out today, so I'm sorry if you get bunched over by it, but we did some extending the season and we put some cloths over this. It's been very windy today and the cloth has started to roll up, and it's supposed to get down to 27 degrees tonight. That is well below what I'm attempting fate with to keep my peppers in. So I'm going to do those first, but let's take a look at our onions before I start cutting them, because we're going to go row by row. I'll tell you a little bit more. I'm going to switch you around. Okay, first off, we're going to have to duck, or maybe I'll just go around instead of ducking. Oh, so did anybody out there extend the season of their garden, or is it just crazy me? So what I did, and this is, I know, makeshift, you can call it redneck, I don't care what you want to call it, but it worked. I threw a cushion down here to help protect it from the wind and the cold, because we've been getting days or nights anywhere from just right at freezing or up to 70-something degrees. We've had crazy ideas. And I covered the onions over with these pieces of, actually it's called Solex. It is a greenhouse plastic. I'm going to pull these up. And these are my onions. I'm going to dig these up, but that is going to, believe it or not, be probably the last thing on my list to do today. Because they can take a little freeze, and if I put this back down on them, they'll be fine until I would get out here tomorrow. But let's see how much I do get done. But I'm going to let this go ahead and lay back down. They don't look too bad for surviving some really cold nights. We still have cabbages out here. I'm not harvesting them. I'm just going to let them go, because they're really not too much harvesting material. They might die back, and they might come up next year. Well, I guess we'll find out. That's all we can do, is pray, hope, and dance in the rain. That's all I can say. Yeah, my garden, these were my tomato plants. As you can see, they're not the best right now, but that's all right. Next up, we have these claws. So you can see they're blowing in the wind. This is how I covered our pepper plants. And here are the peppers. These were the sweet peppers, whether they would be like the small banana peppers or the long green ones. Yeah. As you can see, the wind blew up the cloth through here. They're still doing good for as nice that they survived. This row cover stuff actually did pretty good. I'm going to do a little bit of cheating when I go to cut these guys or pick these guys. Being that it's so chilly out here and I need to get in, I have a lot of other things to go on today. It never stops. Our bell peppers have actually done really well with the ground cover. We even got them to turn a little green, or not green, well, they turned green, but they also turned red. Yep, it's going good. And this was a Brussels sprout plant. I never picked it, never pulled it up. That's okay. Our potatoes are still on the ground, and they will be fine. They have enough mulch on them until the ground freezes, and then we'd be in trouble. But the ground's not going to freeze because it's not going to stay that cold that long. It's supposed to be warmer tomorrow night, and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. And our sweet potatoes, they're still on the ground too. I threw their leaves and stuff. I just threw them on top of it to add a little mulch. Once I get the pepper plants picked free of everything, I'm going to put them on the sweet potatoes just for an added layer of mulch. Here's our other row of peppers. This was our pretty much all hot pepper row, and they're doing really good. These are the ones I figured would have the most issues because of them being hot peppers, and they normally are grown in warmer climates. But they're doing pretty good. That's some of the cayenne peppers. They're turning red, doing really well. Here's some habaneros, which they're pretty hot. My daughter loves them, so I planted them for her. And we have our standby of our heated ones with our jalapenos. And then, oh, my jalapenos are even turning red. That's what we want, red and then black. They're pretty cool looking. The sun feels really, really great out here. And down here at this very end, I ended up planting some more banana peppers. Now this cloth, don't laugh at me. Well, you can laugh at me because I normally laugh at myself. But I hung this thing up with clothespins. It didn't exactly hold very well, but it worked okay. So I'm going to eventually pull this down in the next week or two and fold it back up. Maybe I'll be able to use it again in the springtime to extend the harvest. One more item that we're actually doing in the garden would be our pea plants. Now this is heartbreaking. Our pea plants have beautiful flowers on it. They're not going to last. If they do, it would be, amazement, but I don't think they are. So I would definitely try to get these today. If not, then I'll get them Wednesday. And hopefully they will sustain through the this really cold night, or it doesn't get that cold. We've got some nice sugar snap peas growing on here. These are actually some nice sized pods. So I'm happy. I did add another chore to my list of things to do. The sugar snap peas seem to have a smaller leaf, which was more like these guys, versus our regular peas, which has a leaf like that, and some of them even bigger. Now these leaves are all edible, including the flowers. I really hate to pick them. But I'm going to end up freeze drying the leaves and using them in soups and different things like that. Peas apparently are very high, especially the leaves are high in protein, and we're always looking for a good protein source. I think I might have to cook some of those up in the next day or two. Okay, we still have some flowers down here growing over on the other side. If you all recall, I had some volunteer plants that was coming up. I'm going to take you over there and show you them. Give me a minute. Well, if you remember, this was our volunteer butternut squashes that came up. I had them covered. The wind took them away, and the last frost kind of got them. So this time I'm going to get these picked out and take them inside and let them hopefully finish ripening. If they don't, I guess I'll feed them to the neighbor's chicken, or I'll feed them to my chickens whenever I decide to get some. So, well, we're going to head to the peppers and get them cut up. Well, you're on a tripod. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pruners. I'm literally going to cut the pepper right down at ground level. I'm going to take stalk and all. I'm going to put them in bins so I can get them in the basement faster where it's cooler, and I can pick them off tomorrow when it's raining or the next day and actually put them in the refrigerator or in a cooler storage place. So here we go. Enjoy. Well, you have it. That is our nice bin of pepper plants. I'm going to get those up to the house out of the sun, and then I'm going to start on the hot pepper plants. We'll be back shortly. Well, we're down here to the hot peppers, and we're going to start working on them. Okay, as you can see, I've got the row cover up, and it's got the bucket down there, or the bin, not the bucket. And we're going to get to work on getting those. Again, we're going to do the same, pretty much cut it down at the bottom and put them in the bin, and then put them in the basement, someplace cool. We'll be back. Hyperlapse again. Well, we just did the hot pepper row. Got a pretty good little mess here. I'm going to show you some things I found on this row, and actually up in the other ones I just didn't film it yet. It's pretty cool, so hang on. We'll get you right there in a second. So you can see I left a pepper plant. These are the cayenne peppers. This pepper has a praying mantis cocoon on it. I've seen them in other places also. And I left the pepper, so here's some more I need to grab. Gotta have green cayenne peppers too. Why not, right? So as you can see, I cleaned it up pretty good. There are still some more, but the other thing I found really cool is I have a bunch of little ones, little jalapeno ones here. And I am going to leave these on here. I'm going to cover up this row. Some of these even had flowers still on them. I wish I would have noticed them before I cut them. So I'm going to continue this little experiment to see if I can get anything else going. Here's another big bush with little ones on it. Unfortunately, oh, there's a big one. I'll pick those off and put them in there too. We have a tomato plant down here growing, and it is still good. Let me find it here. I've stepped all over it, I'm sure of it. I did eat the one red tomato that I saw that was still good. See, those are some nice little cherry tomatoes. It was a volunteer. And I am going to just cover this back up and see if it will do anything. Just for, you know, how do they say that? Poos and giggles. So, very interesting. Okay, our next item on the business is we're going to go put these away in some place cool. And then we're going to go pull the squash. Very busy day. It's finally got nice out here in the sun too. Well, the onions. Yeah, I know I'm cutting off part of my face. Sun's right in my eyes. It's amazing. It feels great too, getting that vitamin D. But I think I'm going to let the onions in the ground, all of them, except for the few that I dug up. But they're not feeling the best, so maybe the cold's already got them a little bit. I'm going to let them go ahead and die back, and I will have spring onions early in the spring. So I've already got my garden started for next year. We're doing something right. So on to the peas. I'm in my pea plant, and I'm going to cut these guys right down there at the bottom. Let the roots in there to give the soil some more nutrients, and we're going to get these. And like I said, I'm going to freeze dry some of the leaves and put some in the salad also, and eat my little sugar snap pea pods. So they should be really good. So hang on, you'll see what I'm doing. So one of the pea things that I pulled up, actually a couple of them, have like what it looks to be like some type of bug on it. I'm not taking them into the house. It looks like there's another good bug actually eating them, so it might be a lacewing on there. They might have died. Not that you'll ever be able to see one of those without a magnifying glass on a camera. But a lot of different things. I am just going to leave this one lay out here and say goodbye to it. So I'm going to say it's been a pretty extended season, and I'm going to have a sugar snap pea. So I will let you know how the pepper harvest goes. I'll show you what I ended up with, and stay tuned for some other videos, such as freeze drying these little guys. See you in a little bit. We have peppers. Extending the harvest did amazing. I am going to tell you what's what. We have the red and green ones here. They are the cayenne peppers. We have habaneros. We have jalapenos. We have the, what's it called? The banana peppers or the long green peppers. Those are those two. And we have bell peppers. What I'm most impressed, believe it or not, are these bell peppers. They were nowhere near done making or even doing anything. Then we have some pretty nice ones. I mean, this is my hand, and I only wear a size 5 ring. So if I would have went ahead and pulled the plug on them back before the first frost, I would have not had bell peppers like that, or any of these would have turned collars. Most of these guys were green, and they would have never actually became to their full potentials. And this one we have our red and our green cayennes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that big pile of branches and stuff from the pepper plants and throw them out on my sweet potatoes. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. And remember, if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And saying hello to everybody. And what I'm going to do with these peppers, now that I've got them all pulled and harvested, I think I'm going to take onions and sausages and peppers and can them. So look for that upcoming video. I'll be seeing you soon. Charlie B signing out.